The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic Records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.
What is up, Cosmic Seekers? Welcome. Get on in here to my sacred classroom. The records are now open. Welcome to the 611 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. Please say hello to me once you get here. Say hello in the comments. Regina is here. It's so good to see you, Miss Regina. If you are joining us for the first time as well, let me know that you are a first timer. And I will just be so excited to welcome you into this space. All right. If you are a first timer, let me introduce myself. My name is Emily Harrison. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy. I'm an Akashic Records mentor, training visionaries and thought leaders how to exit the world of ordinary mind and tap into super conscious intelligence, tap into God mind, so you can more easily break through previous limitations in your life and unleash your creative genius. Each one of us have something very special to create here on the planet, multiple things to create. We are creators. After all, we are made in the likeness and image of God, the Creator. We are here on a planet of duality to experience not only what it's like to be a creator, but also for soul learning and growth, which is getting heavy out there right now, y'all. You may think that the Akashic Records are for energy healers, for woo-woos, and what a lot of people don't recognize is how powerful of a tool the Akashic Records are for managing our everyday life, for this soul learning, this soul evolution that we're all undergoing right now on the planet. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about what the records are, and then we're going to get down to the fun stuff. We want to save as much time as possible for the fun stuff, which is answering your questions. This show is really about each one of you. You guys bring forward the intelligence from the guides, the masters, the teachers, the wisdom of the Akash, so that we can all learn and grow here today. And that's based on your questions. So where are you stuck in life? Where do you want to understand the nature of your challenges, what's happening, what's going on with you? Where do you want to experience breakthrough? All right, start lighting up my chat box with questions while I give a high-level overview of what the Akashic Records are, so we can all play here together today. All right, the Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. This realm of consciousness can also be likened to the mind of God. It's known as the mind of God. I grew up in a very religious setting, Southern baptism, going into church every Sunday morning, every Sunday night. The Bible talks about the book of life. So perhaps you're familiar with the book of life. Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether. Ether is primordial energy. Okay. And we all have the ability to tap into this space of the Akash, God mind. Your human being, your this genome, this technology that you're showing up in comes wired into the mind of God. You just have to know how to access that. All right. And this information has been hidden from us. It's incredibly empowering to tap into the mind of God. Send some love lax hearts across the screen if you can already start to glimpse how amazing that would be. Yes, this is why I love the Akashic Records. And yes, it does sound very, very quantum, very woo-woo, maybe very spiritual. And it is, although we are all spiritual beings. This is a technology that is here for all of us. All right, so here's what you may not recognize that the Akashic Records can do. Once you learn how to tap in, you can get instantaneous genius level information. Everything just start making sense to you in seconds. All right. The guides are encouraging me to share real-time stories of how my clients and students are shifting this week. So I'm gonna change some names here. Real-time healing going on. Okay, so my client Sam, in terms of getting genius level insight. Anybody experiencing real challenges in your family right now? Okay, Sam is experiencing things that have to do with child custody and warrants and heavy things in life that sometimes families go through. It's challenging. It unnerves us. It unhinges us. We don't understand why. We don't understand the higher cosmic order. Okay. When Sam comes in and taps into the records, all of these things that feel so incredibly chaotic instantly come into a higher level of order. All right. That's genius level clarity. Guys, the Akashic Records can also help you transmute generational trauma without going to years of therapy. So let's talk about what generational trauma is. There are a lot of different examples of it. Here's the example that came into my mind today as the Akashic Records were just like inviting me to share real time what this looks like. Okay. Generational trauma for my client Kim looked like her parents yelling at her, yelling at everyone. Her parents were yellers. Okay. Ooh, this can create deep wounds in children. It was Kim's interpretation of this yelling and how she began to process love and unconditional love obviously felt terrible. This was one of the contributing factors that led to Kim becoming an alcoholic later on in her life. Not all of them, but one of them, which she overcame, which is freaking awesome. All right. Kim has little kids. Kim's driving along and the little one is in the back chatting away, maybe 2.5 years old. And what her daughter was saying was so profound. Kim flipped the camera on, recorded it for me. And her daughter was saying, Mommy, you know, when you get mad at us, you don't yell at us. You just talk and you say blah, 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 blah. In her sweet little voice. And then Kim pulled the camera around and allowed me to see her face and the tears dripping down her face. Because I knew the backstory, which was that was generational karma and trauma that she was breaking. Okay, so that's what it looks like to break generational karma. You can also quantum leap into your highest timeline. All right, this no changing the names for privacy on this one. I don't know if y'all follow my girl Kara Malindi. Kara is an astrologist, a business strategist. She's got high-level degrees. Master's degree in psychology. Kara has spent a lot of time on her, education and her status in life. And still, going through that traditional way of life was not enough for her. It was not going to be enough for her soul. Kara just put out a post today, just celebrating her dream life, manifesting her dream body, creating a job that she loves. She uses the Akashic Records and astrology to help others step into their highest timeline. This shit is real, y'all. It's your turn. Every single person on the planet can do this. But before I get to telling you how you can do this, let me show you how it works. Let's play together. All right, Deborah, thank you for sending me a question. I'm going to come back to your question, but I just want to show you a question first of all. Get some more people asking questions out there because, again, your questions are what bring forward intelligence that helps and supports all of us as we're going to jam here in the Akashic Records today. All right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to jump right in. Oh, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it's good for y'all to know my story, how I came to the Akashic Records. Before I learned how to read the Akashic Records, I was an actress in Hollywood. And on the outside, my life looked like it should be great and I should be happy. And aren't I living the dream? And very similar to how I described with Kara, that I wasn't fulfilled, not truly tuning in to the nature of spirituality and mystery, cosmic mystery that was within me. I had a desire to heal myself of the depression that I felt, of the uninspiration that I felt. I had a desire to help other people do that. And once I found the Akashic Records, it was like, everything in my life started to make sense. All right. And that's what has become my mission now, is truly just reminding each one of you, because we're all eternal souls. This intelligence is already within you. I'm here just to remind you that you have all of the wisdom, the insights, the answers within you. We are all connected to this source of higher wisdom, this innate. And when we learn to tap into the Akashic Records, it becomes not only a self-teaching mechanism. I mean, in the mind of God, just wander around in there for a while. You think you're going to learn something? Yes. Okay. There are dynamics and nuance to know how to use this realm at its highest, to its highest capacity. That's what I teach people to do. But honestly, you're all doing it anyway. Like I said, we're all connected into it. All right. Enough ramble. Let's get down to business. Deborah, what's up? I'm glad you're here asking questions. All right. Why am I feeling so tired and unable to move forward in my business? Okay. Anybody else feel this way? I feel it too at times. And I'll also say I was talking with some entrepreneur friends sitting around a table. This was a couple weeks ago. And one of them asked the dreaded question, like the dreaded entrepreneurial question: would you ever go back to working for someone else? Ooh! All right. And, ultimately the answer is no. And the reason that we only utter those words behind closed doors, entrepreneurship and creating business that is aligned with who we are and our service here on the planet, it's challenging. All right. It's challenging anyway to be an entrepreneur. It's extra challenging right now, Deborah, because all the old ways that we have, the old paradigms of entrepreneurship, are breaking down and shifting and changing. And the old ways of doing things are, one, we're either recognizing that they're draining our energy or they're incongruent with the highest good, the highest state of order and balance. And we need to move everything into a state of balance right now. So that seems to be a common thread amongst visionaries, thought leaders, difference makers, that wide genre. We generally show up as artists, as entrepreneurs, as people who are connected into philanthropy and nonprofits. Like, we want to make a change here on the planet. And we can feel unfortunately drained by work that used to really inspire us. All right. So send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you can relate. And the reason why this is happening is because it's got to be very, very clear that those old ways aren't working for us. So much so that your body is going to go on, what do they call that? Strike. Your body, your motivation is going to go on strike until all the old ways just F right on off. Okay. our job, our challenge, our invitation. Let's go with our invitation, because that the frequency of that word holds the maximum amount of free will. Okay, and we are sovereign beings. We have free will at all times. But the invitation right now is to recognize that we are frontiers on an ever-changing landscape here on planet Earth. The evolution that we are experiencing, the breakdown of the old and what's not working, along with ancient truth that is resurfacing, a collision of all of this beautiful madness happening on this planet right now, which is leading to rapid evolution. And nowhere on the planet have we ever experienced this, nor is this happening this rapidly, this intensely, anywhere else in the galaxy right now. We've got a front row seat to the most radical evolution, expansion of light ever. It's exciting, actually. And forest through the trees, the humans that we are, it can be hard for us to remember all of that. All right? Remember, when you incarnate in human form, your human being, the way that we have generationally evolved, most of us, the average up until now, is the average human can sense 0.003% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So that means you can interpret 0.003% of the energy happening around you using the way your body is currently calibrated. Now, you do have this extra potential inside of you. Maybe you have heard of the DNA, the dormant strands of DNA that scientists they talk about as junk. It's not junk DNA. It's your access to the multidimensional world. And our DNA is waking up. We're going to do a DNA activation right now to help all of us wake up and do the job that we're here to do, which is to innovate, which is to pioneer. Okay, Deborah, so what the guys are saying is, and for everybody else out there, it's okay that we don't know what's next. We're not supposed to yet. When you pioneers and innovators or improv, I told you guys I'm an actress for 20 years before my life shifted into this work. Hollywood was actually a phenomenal boot camp for doing this work because we're all psychic, by the way. We shut down our psychic skills. In order to turn them back on, we got to get a little playful with ourselves. You got to pay attention to your imagination. You got to catch those impulses that come into your imagination. Improv acting really helped me do this because in improv acting, you can't opt out. Like if I, Miss Deborah, go to hand you something, you can't pretend like you didn't see that. Right? So Deborah, if I hand you something, you got to reach up and take it and be like, oh, thank you for the apple, Miss Emily. Yes, and that's the rules of improv. It's also the rules of being psychic. Make sense? Playing with your imagination in that way. So that's the invitation for us right now, is to recognizing that we are on the forefront of a rapidly changing landscape. Things are shifting and changing in front of us. What you planned to do to set yourself up to support yourself for today, your day might have totally changed and you need a whole nother set of tools to help you get prepared, right? Does that make sense? Plans that we're making for ourselves. We've got an ever-changing landscape. So that's why we need to awaken our inner visionaries, awaken our imaginations, and begin to say, yes, and. Yes, and. Okay, this isn't working for me. I'm not able to move forward. Let me honor my body. And what would feel good to move forward? That's an easy place to start. And asking yourself what would feel good, what would feel joyful, what would feel easy. Pick whichever one of those words feels the best to you. But you want to shift your focus in that direction. Just ask your brain those questions. Okay, because if you ask your brain, if you give your brain this question, why am I so tired? Your brain will find evidence for you as to why you're so tired. Your ass can still be tired while you're asking your brain, what would feel easier? See, so we could also call this show, we could change the name from Akashic Answers with Emily to just Getting Better at Being Human. So the records give us instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity about how our technology works and how we can use it at its highest capacity. All right, so the guys want to bring in an activation right now. First, we're going to do a vision activation, third eye activation. For anybody who wishes to receive this activation, you can say yes, type yes in the comments. Opening and expanding the third eye, expanding what is possible, expanding what you are willing to see as possible for yourself, which is slightly different than what is possible. See the difference? This is what you are willing to see as possible for yourself. All right. The guides are also saying, light that Palo Santo, Emily, because there's some previous limitations being just shooed right on out of here. All right. Palo Santo clears the energy field. So thank you guys for playing along there. A lot of you guys released the part of you that was just scared to see possibility for yourself. And you opened up your third eye. And all of the things that you were scared to see, they just flooded out into the air, out into the ether, which is good. You let them go. We're just going to clear them out. Good. All those limitations. And you can just imagine if there are limitations that you know about yourself right now, send them into this smoke. Palo Santo clears it. Palo Santo, Holywood, comes from the jungles, deep in the jungles, cared for by indigenous tribes. You know, we could look at this as a plant medicine here to help us clear the energy. So yeah, just go ahead and send them. Send all of your previous limitations into this smoke and allow it to transmute. And so it is. Yay, good stuff. Everybody, send some love likes, hearts across the screen for Deborah. All right, we're going to keep jamming here. Lynn Armstrong, I am ready to retire, but things keep popping up that make me question if I can financially do it. Is this the right time? Woo. Okay, let's tap in and see. All right. Okay, here's a fundamental thing that the guides are saying about time. And when we're asking ourselves if something is the right time. Lynn, if this is something that you want to do and you're noticing yourself asking the questions, the only time is now. This is for anybody else out there too. If this is something that you want to do, you truly desire it, and you're asking in the now moments, take that as data or data, whichever way you pronounce it. I pronounce it both. And we'll probably flip back and forth a couple times. So it's definitely the right time. The questions that come up in your mind after that, that's the most important data. Okay. Then the questions that come up in your mind after that, those are in the resistance category. Okay. So it's around a belief system and a fear that am I going to be able to financially do this? And sounds about right. This is how we test ourselves here. This is how we invite ourselves into a higher state of mastery. Okay. The guides are also saying that wealth management, new codes and more illuminated, more dynamic codes for wealth management. So that we can really understand wealth, abundance, what our divine right is and what those frequencies are that are safe for us to feel. Again, all of that old, the old programs of scarcity and survival, shifting and changing, and we're moving into a state of feeling very safe, and recognizing that we have more control over our wealth than we think that we do. Okay. People who have really studied wealth dynamics understand there's no difference between somebody who makes $30,000 and someone who makes $300,000 other than how they're spending their money. So there are ways, like just look at all sides, Lynn. Okay. The guides are also saying that there's we can flip the question in there, Lynn, to give your brain a different way to interact with the Akash, with the invisible world of possibility to create what you actually want. Okay, so it's easy to say, all right, well, the question keeps coming up, like, why do all these financial challenges keep coming up? Is this the right time? Okay. So rather than reinforcing those kind of questions, Lynn, just plug into your brain and ask this question: universe, show me why it's the right time. Trust that your body and its desire and the fact that it wants this, that is the right path for you. Okay. Ask the universe to show me why it's the right time. Universe, show me how good it can get. Universe, help me feel safe in making this shift. Be very specific in asking for help and support. Okay. And we're all going to be going through our own individual challenges right now, the guides are saying, where we have to redirect our thoughts or ask different questions. Either of those are good. I was actually in need of thought redirection this morning. We've got some powerful full moon energy. Anybody feeling that full moon out there right now? Woke me up from 3 to 4:30 in the morning. Shining, beaming in the window. My mind, I was in the battle for my peace. Because my brain was rolling through all of the negative or the shadow sides of things happening in my life. And some of them, they're really good aspects of the shadow energy. For example, I got a kid graduating from high school tomorrow. How cool is that? Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen for London Kinnaman. Right? There are a lot of things as a mom that I'm moving through that I had to redirect my thoughts towards last night. And it filtered over into today. All right. So course correction. Very, very important. It's how we get better at being human. And it's how we operate at mastery. All right. So Lynn, you get to have anything that you want. You get to create it if you feel it in your body. Let's get some amens, some ahos out there for all of us who have powerful things that we want to create, that we come up against our challenge. We're in the battle. Congratulations, Lynn. This is what your success looks like. You get to have anything that you want. This is how you get there. Shift that energy vibrational frequency. Shift how you're directing your mind. Tell the universe, show me how. Records, show me how. All right, let's see. The guides want to bring in an activation around trust. They're going into the root chakra. Root chakra is at the base of your spine. I was just in the root chakra of the planet this last weekend, y'all, Mount Shasta. If you have been to Mount Shasta, type Shasta in the comments for me. All right, we're going to do this root chakra activation. I'm going to call forward the energies of Shasta as I experienced them this weekend. Slept right smack on the mountain, y'all. I'm going to blast you with codes right now. Just get ready. You could type yes if you are receiving that root chakra balancing and activation. Root chakra is where we experience safety and security. The guides, we're also using this planetary vortex of Shasta to dial ourselves to hold the highest levels of safety, security, trust in ourselves, and trust in the planet. And so it is. Yes. Yes. Cool. Yeah, Shasta, root chakra of the planet. All right, so here's what I was doing in Shasta this weekend, y'all, and I'll get back to some questions here. All right, so Shasta is a very sacred and powerful vortex. It's one of the actual chakra points of the planet. And I began working with the energy of Mount Shasta in 2019. And that's when the acceleration started to get really radical for me. I personally experienced results like quintupling my income within 8 months. Have students who and seekers who came with me and have come with me on that experience have stepped into their soulmate aligned relationships after being at Mount Shasta. They have left their jobs in the corporate world as new opportunities have opened up in the spiritual quantum world, and they create businesses. It's super exciting, the timeline shift and change that can happen at Shasta. So we go every year at Lionsgate, which is in August, and the guides called me to a prep mission this year. I don't always go on a prep mission. Maybe about half the years or so that we go to Shasta, which we've been going for, this will be year number 6. The guides send me on a prep mission. So I just got back from the vortexes. I'm feeling super expansive about what happened. Anybody follow along in my stories this week? If you followed along in my stories this week and watched what I shared in Shasta, let me know in the comments. So yeah, I just got back from Shasta. I also shared with you that my kiddo is graduating from high school tomorrow. My birthday, y'all, my 48th birthday is on Friday the 13th. There's just so much rapid expansion happening around me right now. I'm very excited to share that with you all. So my team and I have gotten together a flash sale that I want to share with you all. And this is actually, you guys are getting in behind the scenes a little bit early. The flash sale actually officially, for anybody who's not watching this broadcast, the flash sale starts at 5 p.m. It's going to go for 24 hours till 5 p.m. tomorrow night. All right, here is what is included in the flash sale. We are not only offering you learn to read the Akashic Record training, we are going to give you a 30-minute Akashic Record reading and activation to jumpstart your journey in the Akashic Records. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. So all for the price of the basic training course. Screen share, learn to read the Akashic Records. It's going to take just a couple minutes to go through, guys. So get excited here with me. Here's what happens in this training course. All right. You're going to learn a process that is designed to help you personally heal of emotional, physical disease, identify and clear oppressive belief systems, experience deep and transformative self-love. This is the gateway to miracle consciousness, by the way, and life just gets really good when you love yourself and you love life. Go back to my screen here. You get to clear ancestral energy patterns, no longer serving you or the collective. Understand your life mission, open access to your highest potential, access your quantum healing abilities, and unlock new energetic skills. You can learn to read the records even if you don't have previous experience with meditation or spiritual practice. You don't feel psychic. You feel like your mind is full of chatter. You don't think that you're creative. You don't have an advanced education. You're skeptical. This is a program that is going to make it easy and repeatable for every single one of you to tap in to the frequency of the Akashic Records. Universal consciousness, okay? Here's what I want to show you. We're not going to go through each one of these modules. What I want you to know is they're about 30 minutes each. By module 3, 90 minutes into this training, you will have the skills to open up access to universal consciousness. Then you're going to start reading your own records, understanding why you are programmed the way you are. which this is what creates the area of limitation versus the area of possibility of what's possible for you in life. You're programmed certain ways. You're programmed on how much self-love you can experience. You're programmed on what jobs you can have. You're programmed on how much money you make. Here's the cool thing is that you get to rewrite all of those records that are no longer serving you. Then we get into the advanced, what I call showing off in the Akashic Records, time travel, past lives, future lives. This level of stretching your imagination, using your imagination, unlocks genius level creativity. All right, let's just get down to the good stuff. Here is the investment. If you want to pay in full, it's $14.97. You will save a little over $200. We also have a payment plan for you where you can start today at $444, and you will receive the flash sale bonus of the Akashic record reading one-on-one with me. Okay, so let me pop that in the comments. It's going to go in there. Yep. There it is in the comments. You guys can scroll through and find that. All right, let's get back to some more questions. Regina says, can you speak on any DNA upgrades and what that means possibly? Yes. All right, so let's talk about DNA upgrades and what that actually means. We hit on it a little bit earlier. We've all got 12 strands of DNA. Scientists tell us only 2 of those strands are active, that the other 10 strands are junk DNA. What the Akashic Records have shared with me and other visionaries, anywhere from a visionary to a psychic to a guru to a scientist, will tell you different versions of this. I'm going to use Emily speak that the records have shared with me. That is, the 10 strands are not junk DNA. They're subdimensional strands of DNA, and they're connected to our subdimensional layers of reality. So one of the aspects of our DNA that we can turn on is our psychic skills. Okay. And illuminating our DNA, turning on psychic skills, like how do we do this? The most simple terms, you just call more light into your body. Just intend light. Light is intelligence. Okay, your intention connects you to a field of intelligence which has its own consciousness. And if you call light in the name of goodness, in the name of expansion, in the name of self-knowledge, and you're willing to take self-responsibility, your DNA will start to up-level. Whether you call it the Akashic Records, whether you call it praying, whether you do sun gazing, an ancient practice like sun gazing, whether you do Tai Chi or Qigong, whether you just take really good care of yourself. In modern day life, you're good to your body, you're good to your mind, you're good to your soul, you self-reflect, you love yourself, you do all of these things. Your DNA is going to begin to activate. Okay. There are things that we can do to accelerate the activation. Obviously, training in containers like this, coming into this sacred classroom, like every Wednesday that you spend here, your DNA is activating. You can do sun gazing practices. Sun gazing is where you stare directly into the sun. There are only certain times of day that you want to do this because you can burn the cornea of your eyes. So you want to look directly into the sun half an hour after the sun has risen or half an hour before the sun sets. Now, I say half an hour. I don't mean look at the sun for a whole half an hour, y'all. That's just the gateway, the time frame that it's safe to look at the sun. You only do this for about 10 seconds. The next day, you add another second, 11 seconds. Go all the way up to 60 and then go back down. Okay? That will rapidly activate your DNA. How I did it, I learned how to read my Akashic Records. That stuff begin to activate like crazy now, y'all. Okay? Let's see what the guides want to bring in. Okay. So here's what the guides, they want to give y'all something good. Okay. So we've got human DNA and we've got galactic DNA. One of the things that we do in the Akashic Record training is an activation of your galactic DNA. All right. So I'm just going to walk you through it real fast. This is going to be cool. Okay. So here's how we do it. Imagine the crystalline tube of light that runs up and down your spine. Okay. Anchor the crystalline tube of light into the core of Mother Earth. Send it outside of this time-space continuum into the Akash. And just imagine that you're anchored in this space. Okay. Mother Earth, Father Sky. The Akash represents the Father Sky. Mother Earth, of course, Mother Earth. All right. So as we have this channel of energy of connection, what happens is the energy of Mother Earth, the embodiment, potentiality of this planet. So let's just talk about the embodiment potentiality of this planet. What do I mean? I'm referring to Goddess Sophia. Goddess Sophia, who was so fully embodied in her Christed consciousness energy that she incarnated into a physical planet, here to hold the experiment, the human experiment, as beings made in the likeness and image of God, the ultimate creator, creatrix, came here to this planet to create in collaboration, in perfect harmony, and in beauty, in peace, prosperity, power. We came to experience ourselves in that physical essence. Mother Earth is the living consciousness hosting this experiment. Our bodies are a holographic representation of Mother Earth. So we have all that divine potential within us as well. Okay, so I want you to imagine being connected to Mother Earth, and that wisdom, that potentiality of Mother Earth begins to spiral up that crystalline tube of light all the way up into your bodies, spinning all the way up. It's going to keep moving up this channel, up into the heavens, into the Akash. All right, the Akash, the wisdom, the intelligence of your soul begins to spiral down in gold, platinum, and diamond sparkles of light, spiraling down this crystalline tube. Can you begin to visualize what's happening as the energy of Mother Earth is spiraling up your full potential and the wisdom of your soul to illuminate your full potential spiraling down as you maintain this connection? Do you see the double helix? Type the double helix once you see the double helix in your mind, in your mind's eye, of this intertwining of our bodies holding the frequency of heaven on earth. Shasta is known as one of these intergalactic gateways of heaven on earth. We're going to be returning there this August to embody these codes. You're getting a little preview right now. You feel that? You feel that? The activation of your galactic DNA as you perceive the frequency of the earth energy spiraling up, the creative potential, and the intelligence spiraling down, which will illuminate that potential through your mind, through your emotions, through your field. You are experiencing an activation of the galactic DNA. Cool stuff, huh? All right. Ooh, I liked that. Send some love, laughs, hearts across the screen if you liked activating your galactic DNA today. All right, let's see what anybody else have questions out there today? Mary Louise, good evening. I'm glad you're here with us. Congratulations for London. Thank you, Sebastian. Yeah, that very bright moon is... I thought it was my neighbors for a second. Oh, TCB, excellent. Go. Another question here. How can I find in my records whether it's better to move or try to stay where I've been over 7 years? Okay, so what I do when I have a question like that in the space of the Akashic Records, or when I want to take a question like that, I want to look at two different possibilities in the space of the records. I'll go into the records and I will Set an intention to connect to a target, a timeline. Okay, so the timeline where I'm going to move, or the timeline where I'm going to go on a certain trip. Okay, so I set that as my target, which dials my frequency so that I can get information from that timeline. Okay, and then you can ask questions like, what would be some joyful experiences, or where would my soul enjoy the learning and growth that's here for me? Basically, pros and cons, right? And then what are the challenges that I could potentially experience? Right? Then clear out that one, shake it off. And then I pick the second choice as the second target, or stay where I've been for the last 7 years. And again, ask pros and cons. And notice not only things like what comes into your mind, TCB, as you're asking those questions, but also notice if there's any movement in the body, like chills or nausea, maybe. Also, notice things that happen in the room around you. Like sometimes I'll be on a call with a client, and we'll have the records open, and something, powerful will happen. And then bam, we hear something like crash in the neighborhood, or ding, something goes off in the computer. And there will be confirmation signals that happen in the environment around you. Okay. So our guides aren't always communicating in what feels like the obvious ways. If you're channeling, there might be other things that open in your field of perception. All right. We're going to bring in an activation. We're just going to do it together. We're going to open up our peripheral vision. Okay. So think about what it means to have great peripheral vision, not only literally, also symbolically, metaphorically, quantumly. What would it mean to you to have great peripheral vision? You can train your peripheral vision, and that's what the guides are wanting us to do now. So just holding the hands out straight in front of you, and then you want to gaze over your fingers. I'm not looking at my fingers, I'm gazing over them, like gazing through the screen. And then I'm going to bring my hands out. I'm going to watch to where my field of vision ends. So like right here, I'm wiggling my fingers, I can see it. If I move back just a little ways, they're beyond my scope of vision. So I want to find the field right where they are there, right there. And then I'm just going to keep looking for them and train my peripheral. Okay. It's not only physical training for your peripheral, which, by the way, many of us are starting to see beyond the veil, which means shadows, flashes of light, things happening in our peripheral. What happens when you see a shadow go in your peripheral? Usually we get a little scared. We go, oh, and we turn, and our peripheral vision, my scope of vision turns, and I can no longer see what I was perceiving before, because your peripheral actually bends and refracts the light differently. You can see different spectrums of light. You can see into different dimensions through your peripheral. So if you are someone who's seeing the lights or the shadows in your peripheral, you might want to try doing this so that when whatever it is that catches your attention, just remind yourself to breathe. Don't let scared be your default mode, which sometimes, things startle me too. Especially when it comes to connection with interdimensional beings and extraterrestrial beings, which talk about Shasta. There's a whole lot of it, Shasta. But one of the reasons that we don't have even more disclosure right now on the planet is because there's still some fear when we encounter those situations, and human fear pollutes. Just like we had to clear the air before, y'all, when we let go of those previous limitations. Yeah, human fear creates an opportunity for a lot of distortion here on the planet. So if anybody watching the news, which there's definitely opportunity for uncertainty and fear. Okay. And I will say it's a dangerous and toxic energy. Creates a lot of distortion and increases our opportunity to be manipulated. So let's just clear out fear for the entire planet right now, y'all. I'm just holding space for light and love to prevail here on the planet. Let's open some loving channels that this fear can exit the planet. I know it looks like I'm doing the hula, doesn't it? Just creating exit channels, y'all. Create some exit channels. Good. And it's truly this fear, this distortion that's breaking down on the planet right now, which is, again, why it's such an exciting time to be here and definitely can be somewhat challenging. All right, so let me see if the guides were complete. What they wanted to share coming in. All right. All right, we are going to wrap up our time here together today. I do have one more really cool thing, though, that I would love to share with you all. Going back to the flash sale, you have access to it now. If you are here on this call, you are welcome to go ahead and use this link. And again, you are going to receive a free 30-minute Akashic Record reading and activation with me. So I want to share with you a really powerful visionary thought leader. Many of you guys might know her, Jennifer Hootie Moscow, a testimonial that she created for me after her Akashic Record reading. So many of you might be able to identify with where Jennifer is, how she's feeling, and just the powerful visionary she is, and what significance she got out of her session. All right, so I'm going to hook us up here. Give me 1 second. Let's go. Right on. There she is. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy. See you back here next week.
Hey there, Jennifer Hootie here, founder and CEO at Conscious Copy & Co. And I just had an Akashic Record session with Emily Harrison, and it was so powerful. One of the things that I really appreciate most about Emily is just her level of integrity and her intention of really bringing in so much integrity, intention, and clarity into the sessions. I was called to do a session because with all of the uncertainty going on in the world, I just wanted to really reconnect to the Akashic Records and ensure that a lot of the big decisions that I'm making right now are in the best and highest for me. And the experience was so powerful because it just really reconnected me to feeling a sense of calm, a sense of confidence, of clarity, in really knowing and that I'm on the right track, and also just a reassurance in a lot of the big decisions that I've been making. So I highly recommend signing up to experience Emily and her work. She is so connected, and just the insights that she was sharing in our session landed as true over and over and over again. And they were very specific and tangible, and I could immediately use them in my day-to-day life. And so highly recommend, and yeah, just so appreciate Emily and her work.
Welcome to this